welcome to today's tip. Now I've got a really lovely modern card today to create using some old, this is a brochure. It's kind of a shiny, thick material paper. It's really, really good for creating your own stencils. And what we are going to do is create some modern shapes on our cards, and then either we can add some stamps to it or we can decorate it with some embellishments. I've got some dots and some lines. I thought we might have a go at creating some embellishments to go with it. First of all, what we're going to do is create the shapes that we want. So I've got a metal ruler and a craft knife here. And what we are looking to do is actually use the negative. So when we cut something out, we're going to be using the negative. So you've kind of really got to think about that when you are creating your stencil. And one of the things that I like to do is cut my paper down to size, because then that really gives me an idea of roughly what sort of sizes and shapes that I'm looking for. Okay, so that's going to be my stencil. So let's sort of work with that. And inside that stencil, we are going to create two really contemporary shapes. Now, if you don't feel confident doing it freehand, what you can do is cut out the shape first, test it out, see if you like it, and then put it on a new bit and then create your stencil like that. But I'm just gonna freehand mine. Just remember, when you're doing this, you are looking for the negative space. So just be careful. Don't worry about that bit. We won't be using that bit. Okay, there's one of the shapes there that I wanna create. And this one is kind of similar in terms of shape, but it will change in terms of orientation. Okay, let's put those aside now. Now I've got a lovely sponge here, and I've just got some acrylics here. Now you need quite a bit when you're using a sponge, because obviously it absorbs a fair amount. And then what I'm doing is just sort of rubbing it into that square that we have just created. And we just lift it off, and there's our first shape. Isn't it funky? Stencils are just amazing. Like, that is so simple and yet looks brilliant. Now I'm going to add a darker color. This is a sienna. I don't want it to go too dark because I don't want it to be too contrasting, because obviously we're going to add some embellishments. So I'm going to put the sienna down, and I might even just mix in a little bit more of that pink. We'll see how it goes. Now we move over to our other stencil and we layer it over the top where we feel we want it to go, and then do exactly the same thing. Look at that, isn't it fantastic? I'm just going to bring it up a little bit closer to you. We've got this cool sort of shapes coming up. I think I quite like it portrait, actually. Just going to get some blue card to mount it on so you can just see what it might look like on some blue card. Look how fantastic that is. You can get some really lovely stark colours with the black stamps coming over the top of it. I thought these might be quite nice against that sienna acrylic that I've got there. I'm just going to stick that right in the middle. How fantastic is that? So really simple ideas. My stamp hasn't come out as cleanly as I liked because that acrylic paint was still a little bit wet. But that is a really, really sharp, pretty card. And it's taking the modern shapes and then adding that beautiful flourish of the stamp in there as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this tip. It's really easy, really simple, and you will definitely be able to create some beautiful cards from it. So I look forward to seeing you next time.